Imagine all the people living life in peace. These are the lyrics of John Lennon's 1971 song, Imagine. And why are we talking about it today? Because turns out Venezuelan President Maduro loves this song. He doesn't just love it, he performs it. He even sang it to crowds in Caracas.
Imagine us people. Mira, son jodedores, vale.
Now, Maduro may be singing about peace, but his country is on the edge, courtesy the United States of America, more specifically US President Donald Trump. The way he's going, he may be pushing this region into war. The question is Trump planning to invade Venezuela? Will he attack? Because what's unfolding in the Caribbean does not look like a casual naval pit stop. It looks like preparation. What you're seeing is the USS Gerald R. Ford. It's the largest aircraft carrier on the planet. And right now, it is in the Caribbean waters. On board are 60 aircraft, including F-18s. That's a lot of firepower. Plus, there are 1,200 US sailors and Marines in this region. 12,000. The Pentagon calls this Operation Southern Spear. And it's making even close US allies uneasy. The UK and Canada have pressed pause on intelligence cooperation. This is after Washington's controversial boat strikes. Since September, the US has launched 21 strikes on what it calls drug-running boats. They've attacked 21 boats. They've killed more than 80 people, 80. The Americans say that they were part of Venezuelan drug cartels, but there is no public evidence of this. Critics say the American strikes are unlawful. Lawyers say Washington is operating in a legal gray zone, but the Trump administration does not care. It is doubling down. It is set to designate Venezuelan drug cartels as terror groups. We are talking about the cartel de los Soles. And what is that? It's a loose network of Venezuelan military and political figures. The Americans say together they are involved in drug trafficking. And the US had sanctioned it earlier, this network. They'd sanctioned the network, but now they're labeling it as a terrorist organization because calling them terrorists gives the United States a much bigger toolbox. It means more aggressive crackdowns. And here's the important part. Washington claims that President Maduro leads this cartel de los Soles. So this designation of them being terrorists is basically like the Americans calling the Venezuelan president a terrorist, a charge that Maduro has obviously denied vehemently. But what's in it for Washington? Why are they doing this? What are they trying to do here? What is their end goal? Trump was asked about this, and he seems to be suggesting talks with the Venezuelan president.
With the designation of that cartel associated with Maduro, does that mean that the U.S. government can target Maduro's assets or infrastructure inside Venezuela?
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be discussing, we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. No one wants a war, but everyone seems to be preparing for it. On one side, there's a US president who likes decisive gestures. A region flooded with American warships, a political climate in Washington that rewards displays of strength. On the other side, there's a Venezuelan leader who is convinced that the US is plotting to remove him. A military mobilizing for an asymmetric conflict and civilians preparing for the possibility of invasion. Add mistrust, miscalculation, and military hardware to this mix, and you have a classic recipe for accidental escalation. Because wars do not always begin with decisions. Sometimes they begin with misunderstandings. So what happens next? Well, there are three paths from here. Number one, diplomacy. Talks begin, tensions cool, both sides claim victory, and this would be ideal. The second path is limited strikes. The US expands its boat strikes. It targets terrorist infrastructure, as it puts it, but it avoids full invasion, essentially a shadow war in the region. That's the second option. The last one is a full-scale military action. There are ground operations and an attempt at regime change. Now, this is the scenario, the third one. This is the scenario that every capital in South America fears, and multiple episodes in their history warn about. So which of these three paths will the United States and Venezuela take? Right now, the answer depends less on strategy and more on temperament. In a region that has seen coups, invasions, sanctions, and secret wars, all it takes is one spark to turn into a wildfire.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.